Hmm. Can you explain how the Mandela effect works? What it is, and is it real? Yeah, it's real. The Mandela effect is a phenomenon where a large number of people distinctly remember an event that it never happened, or in fact, it never was reality. And it came about in 2010. The paranormal researcher Fiona Broom recalled how she distinctly remembered news coverage of Nelson Mandela's death in prison in the 1980s. In fact, she said that she had very detailed memories of the media coverage of the event. But of course, the weird thing and the truth of the matter is that in 2010, when she had this memory, Nelson Mandela was still very much alive. In fact, he was released from prison in 1990, I think, and actually served as the president of South Africa between 94 and 99. But she still remembers him dying. And it would only be 3 years after Broom reported these memories in 2013 that Mandela actually passed away. Now, Broom theorized that there were perhaps many who shared these same false memories, and as she began to speak with others, actually, she discovered that this was actually the case. People also remembered Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s. And the Mandela effect can also be seen in other cases, apart from the original where it got its name. There are, I suppose, a lot of people who honestly claim to remember that New Zealand was always located northeast of Australia as opposed to southeast of Australia. How on earth does it happen that a large number of people with no particular relation to each other all have these false memories which align even in the finer details, not just broad memories? Now, Broom herself thought that this might be evidence of the existence of, parallel realities or alternate universes where history develops differently in different dimensions. Psychologists, however, of course, have proposed rather different explanations for the Mandela effect. And I suppose two of the largest one, two of the most prevalent ones are distorted recollections of actual events or facts shared by a large number of people. But it might be due also to the fact that the memory of Mandela, for example, is stored in the same part of the brain where political prisoners are remembered. And so consequently, the memory of Mandela himself triggers memories of political prisoners dying in the 1980s. So it could be that. It could also be memory confabulation. Isn't that an amazing word? And this happens when gaps in the memory are filled in with invented experiences, in order to provide coherent explanations of your real memories and to make sense of them. The brain hates gaps. The brain does not like gaps. And so what the brain does is it unconsciously invents details that never happened in order to connect real memories into a coherent narrative, because you just can't have blank spots. The brain doesn't allow that. And the Mandela effect is, it's an almost surreal, yet very authentic phenomenon. I suppose while psychiatrists are still in the process of figuring out all of its exact causes, I think it's safe to assume that it's the fallibility of human memory as opposed to the rather more exotic idea of the existence of parallel universes. Or alternate realities. Amazing and wonderful as that would be, I think we can safely assume that's not the case. So there you go. That's the Mandela effect.